What's going on, everybody? CTM Sports in the house. We got a special guest. We got DP, Dedrick Poole in the house, man. Central legend, Southwest legend, two sport, D1 legend. Everything you can imagine. He got Mr. 6K.
Hey man,
I don't think nobody got
that's
more
three
than that,
sport
right?
legend, man. That's three
Yeah, I don't think
sport.
Yeah, Mr. 6K. Then we got Jay in the house. We got Pill in the house. We got your boy Mike in the house. Dedrick, my man, what's going on, brother? How you been?
Everything good, man. Appreciate y'all inviting me in, though.
No problem, man. No problem. So we're gonna get right into it. Tell the people where we from, cause it's really all Southwest in the house right now. Like, where is
Yeah, we
Dedrick Poole
definitely from
from?
Southwest, man. Southwest Little Rock. That's where we
Yeah.
from. I grew up on 65th, but
Yes,
I'm a
sir.
Southwest baby.
Me too, right there beside you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, in the gates.
Yeah, Westgate, man.
Yes, sir. So when you think about like growing up in Southwest, like when did the football bug hit you, man?
Man, I was a basketball player.
Oh,
Right?
basketball player first. Okay.
Yeah, I was a basketball player. My dad was a basketball player. So I took out the pops just listening to the stories that my uncles would tell me about him. So I was really a basketball player. Man, I used to go up to Wakefield before they
Man.
rebuilt the school, before it
Yeah.
burned down. They used to have
The
a
front court.
basketball court in front of the school.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
the 10 feet goes go one way, and then the
Yeah.
8.5, 9
feet
feet goes go sideways.
So
And you know, at that time, when we came up, the court stayed packed, right? So
oh yeah, for sure.
every day I was leaving Westgate, you know, walking up the street, going to play basketball every day, right? And this guy named Leon Talbert, he a fair alumni,
Yeah, big
Big
league.
T.
So,
Yeah, I used to play with Nico, his brother.
yeah, Nico, he
And
went to Gumbo with it.
one
for sure.
day we was playing at the court, and I was walking home, and he pulled up on me. He had this little hatchback Honda, man. I think it was like a CRX or something, but he had the sound in it.
Sound in it.
Let
The
it slow
loud
down.
pipe.
Yeah, DP, where you going? I'm like, I'm going to the house. He's like, you want to play football? I'm like, football? For who? He was like, I'm a football coach. I'm coaching little league team. I was like, I guess. I was like, you gonna have to holler at my mama, you know what I mean? He was like, all right, I'm gonna follow you. So I walked in the gate, took him to my mom's. He was like, well, I'm actually headed to practice now. You mind if you go with me? So I ended up jumping in the car and going with him. We was practicing at Romine at the time. Well, Hunter Child Care. We was on Hunter Child Care field.
Okay.
That field right behind the church, right?
Yeah.
And we were practicing there, and he introduced me to Donald Howard, Pastor Donald Howard. He wouldn't have passed at the time,
He would have passed
right?
it.
But that was his first year starting the West Side Steelers, so they were still trying to, you know, get kids to come out, and I went out there, man, and that's how it all started. He
It's history. The show began.
yeah, man. I think that moment kind of did it for me, because I was 10 years old, right? And I'm not sure if you remember Bloody from the West Side, Keith. You might know him. You might have heard of him. Him, Tony, all these other guys, they were 13, 12 and 13, right? And instead of them allowing me to play with 10-year-olds, they made me play up with the 12 and 13-year-olds.
Boy.
So I ended up playing quarterback, and them two guys were the running back, right? So I played up from 10 years old on.
Okay.
So that's how football started.
What was it like playing so young, playing against older kids?
Boy, man, you know what? When I was playing at Wakefield, I remember my first day going up there, right? And just watching the guys. I had my little rubber basketball, and you know, at some point, you know, I was trying to learn how to play. You know, I was decent, but then the guys in the neighborhood, they just started saying, "Hey, if we running fives," they called me Lil Drick, right? So they started calling me Lil Drick got to play. So if my team lost, then whoever picked up next, they had to always pick me up, right? But if I won, of course, I stayed on the court. So I was always playing with guys that was older than me, right? They were already in high school, you know what I mean? And they wasn't taking it easy on me, right? But they was making sure that I was on the court and I was getting the training, I was getting my shots up. So when I went out there to play with them, it was, they were still kids to me.
So the people that don't know, that ain't from Southwest, the people that don't know, how much money was on that court before you started playing? How much money was on that court?
Oh man, it was
like the NIL before the NIL.
It was definitely. I mean, we didn't call it NIL back then. It was something different, you know what I mean? But it was a lot of money around there. It was a lot of street guys out there, and they were just looking after me. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it's been some.
I'm talking about dudes just on the court playing for money, like the games they playing for money. Like,
they playing for money. Yeah, they definitely playing for money. Yeah. Now, when they playing for money, I can't play. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But if we just out there running, Lil Drick on the court, you know what I mean? But when they was definitely playing for money, I was on the sideline watching, man.
Benny Craig, they built at Benny Craig sometime.
Yeah.
So those of us who don't know you, like, what's the home like? Like, how many brothers or sisters do you have?
So my mom and dad, they were never married. So my dad lived in Pine Bluff.
Oh, okay.
Right. Wow. And he's from Wabaseka, Arkansas. So when Wabaseka back in the 80s was coming to Little Rock and beating Central and beating Parkview, he was a part of them teams. But my mom, she's from Little Rock. So I always lived with my mom, but I would go visit my dad every weekend. Right. Dad would come to Little Rock, pick me up. I spend the entire weekend with him. But I got two brothers, Thomas and Raymond. Raymond's the oldest, Thomas is the baby by my mom. And then my dad, I have, step brothers and one step sister, right? Okay. We don't act like step siblings because we've been together since we were young.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, I'm in all I got probably about 10 siblings.
Wow. Yeah. I'm the same. My dad had about 9 kids. Yeah. So when your dad used to take you down to Pine Bluff, did he used to work you out, or you just spend time with your pops? Because in the country, it'll train you a little different in the country. They how you doing some work in the country, that side work.
So my dad was really good coming up. Okay. He had some scholarship offers, and being a country boy, he had that mentality that he didn't know how good he was. That's what he used to tell me. He was like, man, don't miss your opportunity. Don't be like me. Don't know how good you are. And that probably explained, if y'all played against me, y'all know I had a lot of confidence, bro. That's where that kind of stemmed from. But he used to go hoop, and I used to be on the sideline watching.
Oh, okay.
Right. And Pops was a shooter. So I'd be looking at he knocking down threes, and he out there hooping. He like one of the guys, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's kind of how it started, me watching him. And then I had uncles, they would sit me down. Like I got vivid memories of them sitting me down. They play Luther Vandross, right?
So
maybe have a drink or something, and then they start telling me, I'd be sitting down, they'd be telling me stories about the games he played in and how good he was. Right. So they kind of planted that seed. But my dad he bought me a little mini basketball goal, but he never pushed the game on me.
Okay.
Right. He never pushed the game on me. And then I probably was, man, I was a little kid because we were walking down, we stayed off Broadmoor in Pine Bluff, and at that point it was like you can go rent movies from the movie store. Yeah. Every Friday we would rent movies. Well, this one Friday he decided
it's all streaming now.
Yeah, it's all streaming now. But, he was walking me to the store. He looked down at me. I remember it like yesterday. He was like, "Hey, you want to be like me?" And I told him, "I want to be better than you." Right?
Man.
He bring that up. He talk about it all the time,
Yeah.
right? Like, man, I knew you were gonna be different because you told me you wanted to be better than me. And I was just speaking sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's where kind of the fire came from. And then I lived in, like I said, I lived in Broadmoor, and in Pine Bluff, there's a family. They home. Their last names is Holmes, right? And it's a big family.
Yeah.
They had a lot of kids, and Dale Holmes and Eric Holmes, their auntie Jackie stayed right next door to us, so they used to always be over Jackie. Jackie had the nice house now,
Yeah.
you know, beautiful green grass, the house with the back visitor house in the back, all that. So all of them would be over there, and we would be hooping. And one summer, bro, they towed me up one summer. I was down there. And it got to the point to where they wouldn't even pick me up on their team. Like, I'd be the only kid out there. They won't even pick me up. And that's where the fire started. I went back to Little Rock after the summer, and every day, man, I went to the court. That next summer I went down there. It took about a week. Then I couldn't get them to come outside.
Hey,
so for you.
Yeah, because now I done started playing with the older boys, right?
Yeah.
And I'm getting all the reps, right? I'm on the court all the time. So when I went down there and played on that little goal they were playing on, man, it was like playing against kids.
Boy,
so that's where, and I tell my daughter and my son that all the time. You know, that's where it all started for me, is when I felt like they felt like I wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Then I took it personal.
Yeah.
Went and worked on my game and came back and was like, "What's up?"
So, there's a story right here. You got the fire, you got the game. So here's the question. Living in Southwest on Wakefield, were you zoned or recruited to go to Pulaski Heights?
Neither. Right. So
people that don't, before you go there, people that don't know, Pulaski Heights is over there by the mall.
It's in the Heights.
Yeah, in the Heights.
Yeah, it's in the Heights.
Yeah.
If you go past the houses behind Pulaski Heights, you down there by the river.
You down by the river for sure.
Right. But nah, I wasn't supposed to go to PH. I used to play at Thrasher, and I played for B Level. Y'all know who B Level is.
Yeah.
Y'all on podcast.
Yeah, shout out to B Level, man. He got his podcast over there. Shout out to B Level, man.
Right. B Level used to have this team called the Bulls at Thrasher. And he was the guy who introduced me to like playing like organized basketball, outside of elementary. And I was the guy for him, right? But then Gerald Gant had a team called the Jazz. And Gerald was Gerald really introduced me to life, because Gerald was us, but he had class. Right. And he was us now. I ain't saying he wasn't us.
Yeah.
He had class.
Sure.
He was the first guy that was like, hey, you gonna play AU for me, in the summer. And at the time, him and B Level were they wouldn't like, because they battling. We beat them, they beat us, and it was back then. Those games used to be packed in Thrash, like it was all to wall. You had Power 92 in the gym.
Oh yeah,
it was
Luther in there
was a big deal. Yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah, right. Luther in there, right? Luther loved the double. R.I.P. Luther. Man. But Gerald asked me to play for his AAU team. He was with the Rockets. Coach Allen, I think Coach Allen just passed not too long ago. But he was over the Rockets, and Gerald was gonna coach AAU, so I started playing with them.
Okay.
And Gerald, like I said, he had class, man. Gerald had a nice house out in Pecan Lake.
Yeah,
man.
He had big Gerald.
Multiple cars, and I never forget. After one of our games, man, he had this white Lex. He had rims on. It was nice. It was clean.
This is why Ice Cream Man was out too, wasn't it? This is why Ice Cream Man was out
I get in the car, and he listening to jazz music. Like Gerald listened to jazz. This early 90s.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at him. I'm like, can you change the music?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, no, none of that go on.
And for people that don't know, Pecan Lake back then, Pecan Lake was a big thing.
Yeah,
That
upper
was
echelon.
big.
big
Saying
deal.
Yeah.
Pecan Lake, yeah, you do it so.
Yeah, but he was like, nah, we this is what we listen to in here. You know, you gonna ride with me. This how we gonna ride, right? So he was kind of showing me a different side of life, you know.
For sure.
And he took me in. I used to go over his house, you know, his wife cooked, all that. I'd be with his boys, little Gerald, Dominique, right?
Yeah.
Man, he had an incident that happened. And I didn't know, like he kept all that away from me. You know
for
what
sure.
I mean? I didn't know. And
a lot of the good ones, dude, they keep it away from you. Really don't know. They
I
really
had no idea.
No idea. Yeah.
Right. So he took me
Yeah.
over. One day he picks me up at home and he's like, all right, I'm finna take you to school you finna go to. Me, I'm like, where I'm going? He like, Pulaski Heights. And I'm like, Pulaski Heights? I'm going to Cloverdale. He's like, you ain't going to Cloverdale.
He's taking you down University. He's like, man, we going way down. Ain't no
he's like, you ain't going to Cloverdale. This is him. This is he ain't talked to my mom. He ain't talked to nobody. You know what I mean?
That sound like Big Gerald.
Yeah, you're not going to Cloverdale. You're going to Pulaski Heights. So when he get over there, I get out the car and he introduced me to Stan Williams, the head coach. And you know, he introduced me. And he tell me to go downstairs, go, you know, Pulaski Heights, you got to walk down to get to the court. And that's the first time I saw Vincent and Big Derrick, right? They were big time basketball players at that time. And they were in there playing one-on-one. So I went down there and started shooting with them. And then he called me back upstairs. He was like, all right, he gonna take you home. Talking about Coach Williams.
Yeah, for sure.
He was like, and I'm gonna see you later. And that was like the last time I saw him.
Yeah.
Right? He was like, you're gonna be straight. He gonna take you home, whatever. And that was the last time I saw him before he went and did, you know, his time.
Yeah. For sure.
And Coach Williams was like, hey, I'm gonna take care of you, whatever. So he took me home and he talked to my mom. You know, of course, that conversation I wasn't privy to. They didn't allow me to sit in the room and have that conversation. But by the time he left, the decision was made that I was going to Pulaski Heights. That's how he ended up. He didn't recruit me or nothing like that. It was Big Gerald saying, hey, you know, this is one of the things on my list that I want to make sure is straight before I go do what I got to do.
Yeah.
And that's how that happened.
So how did the football set up at Pulaski? I know you went there for basketball. Did they talk you into football? Or you just like, I'm gonna go ahead and
No, you know, I was already playing football. I was playing football for the Steelers, and by that time, shoot, I had made a name for playing football, right?
Yeah.
I was still playing quarterback, and in that my 7th grade year, I didn't play for Pulaski Heights because I still wanted to play for Coach Howard and the Steelers.
Yeah.
Right. So I played with them. Pulaski Heights went undefeated that year too. I mean, they ain't need me.
Yeah.
But I went and I played basketball. So I played for the Steelers. And then after football season, I went and played basketball. I had to try out and everything. Right. But the thing about going to PH is they had Eddie Robinson over there and they had Dalen Smith.
Yeah.
All right. And they were already there. And they were like, when I got there, they were like, yeah, they started. You know what I mean? Donnell Montgomery, he was a starter. They had Jason. Who else they had? They had one other person, but I remember Big Jason. He ended up going, he went to McClellan. Jason went to McClellan.
Yeah.
Was it Plant?
Yeah, Jason Plant. Jason Plant. Yeah. Jason
Plant. I ain't know he went to PA.
Yeah, big Plant. Yeah, but I remember them telling me they the starters. So when I went in there, I was already pissed because Don Williams was the coach of the Wings.
Yeah.
And I tried out for the Wings and Don cut me. But he kept Eddie Robinson and he kept Dalen. Right? And I felt like, man, I'm just as good or better than them. But I was high-headed, right? I had a temper, right?
Yeah.
And he used to be like, man, you a loose cannon. He used to tell me that all the time, you a loose cannon. Because I took it personal, right? I'm out in the court, I'm taking it personal. So when I saw them guys, I was like, all right, this is my time to shine. So, man, at trials, I went crazy. Like you talk to some of the guys that played with me, man. I was playing so well, I was kind of shocked by it. You know what I mean? So when the roster came out, I was on varsity, and everybody my age was on junior varsity. They're playing for the 7th grade team. And then the first game, I was listed as a starter. Right, as a 7th grader. Right, as a 7th grader. And so, after that, man, we didn't lose. We didn't lose a game. Went 3 years without losing a basketball game, a football game, or track meet at PH.
Yeah,
with them teams. Yeah, so that's how that happened, man. But everything kind of started at PH, man. That's where I learned like discipline, structure, like everybody good out here. So it's gonna take a little bit more to be better than the next man. That's why I learned how to study the game, right? Back then, we didn't have YouTube, so we couldn't go and watch the games and all that kind of stuff. I used to have VHSs. I used to record. In Little Rock, we had the Chicago channel. Right? So every time the Bulls would play, I would record
WGN,
right. And I'd go back and I'd watch them tapes over and over and over. If there was a football game that played at the time, the Cowboys played on TV every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
So I would go back and I would watch Emmett. You know what I mean? I record it, watch it over and over and over again until I just started seeing the same pictures. Like I felt like if Mike saw this picture, this is what Mike would do. If Emmett saw this picture, this is what Emmett would do. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I patterned my game, and I kind of trained myself to think that way. And then I started looking at everybody else, right? All the greats, right? At the time, Terrell Davis was hot then. Marshall Faulk was hot.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Penny Hardaway,
Penny,
Yeah. So guys like that, AI came out. I took some things from AI, but I used to actually record them guys and sit down and study them.
What did you like better? Did you like quarterback or running back? Which like when you was younger, did you like quarterback?
So I like running back, right?
Okay.
Coach Howard, but I played quarterback for the Steelers, right? So
he
started me as a 10,
you got that experience,
a 10-year-old at quarterback, right? And I played with the big guys. It was hard for him to take me from quarterback and put me in the backfield when I'm controlling the entire game. You know what I mean? But he did one time. He gave me an opportunity one time. I think we were playing like the Chargers, and he handed it to me. And I took that thing 80. One and only carrier running back in Pee Wee League. I took it 80 to the house.
Sideline, off tackle. Sideline, off tackle.
Yeah, off tackle. Off tackle.
Yeah.
And he told me, all right, you can't play running back no more. So he put me back. Yeah. So he was like, all right, nah, you can't. That's a true story. He would not let me get back at running back anymore. I got one carry in Pee Wee League at running back. Went to the house and he made me stay at quarterback.
So what was some of your best games at running back for Pulaski Heights when you
I can remember a lot of them. So my first game was against Forest Heights, my 8th grade year. I think I had like one-on-one on 6 carries. And
junior high got
right. Man, I had some stupid stats in junior high. Like we had Eddie Robinson, we had myself, we had Nick McGee.
Shout out to Big McGee.
We had a list, even Eddie Pride. I'm not sure if y'all know who Eddie Pride is. He played in the backfield too, right? So we had some talent. So I didn't have to get 10 carries. I can get 8 carries. Yeah. But them 8 carries, I'm gonna have 120, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, right?
Wow.
And then Nick gonna have 100 yards and a touchdown, and the next guy gonna have. We just, we had like you said before we started the podcast, we had a lot of athletes over there.
Lot
of athletes
with wheels.
You had a mouthful when you said in the 7th grade they didn't need you.
Nah.
Can you think about a team that don't need Dedrick Poole?
Yeah, they didn't need me. They had Chris. I forget Chris' last name, but he was the starting running back for Parkview when I got to high school. But he was the starting running back for PH at the time, and they went undefeated. I mean,
and for the young bulls out there, we always talk about this on the sports show. Tell these young kids how tough it is playing for great coaches, how they work you on the field. Like they work you in practice before you get on that field in the game. They gonna have you doing all kind of crazy stuff.
yeah, when I look at the game today, I get kind of frustrated, right? Because it's almost like the coaches are, I don't want to say scared, but they too mindful of what they might say or they might do, right? Instead of just letting intention lead you on how you need to coach. And I think the guys that I came up under B level, right? I think B level started it off. B level expected a lot from me. Like you ain't got to fear that he gonna jump on you or nothing.
No, but he gonna get in you though.
On the ride, on the way home, he gonna talk to you. You know what I mean? He gonna make you feel like, man, you ain't do nothing. You know what I mean? But then when I got with Gerald was the one that was like trying to put that dog in me. Like,
he more developmental. He more developmental kind of coach.
Like mentally. Hey. He told me one time he dropped me off and he tricked me because this is what kind of propelled me to like work the way I worked when I was a kid. He said, "Hey, Dedrick, every time you go to sleep at night, there's somebody across the world that's out working you."
Yeah.
Yep. That's real.
And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Every time you go to sleep at night, there's somebody outside the world that's out working you." And I thought about it. I'm like, so I used to stay up. I'd be up 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, either shooting a basketball or running up and down the street. True story.
Yeah, I seen my witness. I was there, but I seen that man driving down the street with ankle weights on. Like,
that's a long street to jog down, man. You can just jog all the way down 65th and it gets you right.
Through the neighborhood, right? Because our neighborhoods had hills, right?
Yeah.
So I would run up the hill, run down, and go around the curve, run back up the hill on this street. But yeah, Gerald kind of set it off for me. But he was telling me because he was trying to show me, hey, you ain't gonna get nowhere without working hard.
Yeah,
when you think you can play, you think you good, right? It's somebody that's gonna be better. So he kind of started it. But when I went to PH, I hadn't seen nothing like Coach Williams. Right? Coach Williams was, I'm telling you right now, if Coach Williams was coaching today, if he coached kids today like he coached us, Coach Williams would be under the jail. Right? Man, my 7th grade year. Hey man, it's a true story. We up on Horace, man. We up 16 points.
Yeah.
Right. Coach Williams was big about detail, and I love him for that because he taught me the details matter. And if we weren't paying attention to the details, he didn't care if we was up 16. If we weren't paying attention to the details on defense, he didn't coach us on offense. He gave us a set offense. He was like, all right, y'all talent gonna get y'all buckets in the half court. Yeah. But this defense, if y'all run this defense like it's supposed to be ran, we gonna outscore everybody. Right. So if we weren't rotating appropriately, Coach Williams would go crazy. Yeah. So I guess I didn't rotate, and he called a timeout. We up 16, timeout. Yeah. And I come to the sideline, and I sit down on the bench. He walk over there, and this in front of everybody, Jim Peck. Nigga, wham, hit me across the head with the clipboard. Like in front of everybody.
How did DP keep the fuse from blowing up? Because I know.
Well, this is in the 7th grade, right? Yeah. And then he like, this ain't no, this not a coach that you look at that you feel like he don't care about you. He ain't gonna take care of you. He don't want the best. I knew he wanted the best for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? I knew it was much expected. Again, I'm a 7th grader playing varsity. Yeah. Right. So I knew it was much expected. Yeah. And so when he did it, I ain't think nothing of it. I'm just like, all right, it was like kind of getting punched in the chest by Gerald or something. You know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Now don't do it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
We end
spare
up,
you this one. Yeah,
yeah. Well, not him. It was me. That's how I thought.
Oh.
I'm like,
Oh,
he
okay.
said I need to
Okay.
rotate. So
Yeah.
don't make that mistake again. Just, make sure you
Yeah.
don't have this conversation again. That's how
Yeah.
I used to think. So I would make sure I, paying attention to the details. But man, and then when I got to Central playing for Coach Cox, man, Coach Cox was old school.
Yeah.
Right. When I say old school, it was, hey, you a minute late, not even a minute. You're 30 seconds late, you're in the bleachers.
Okay,
right?
before we get there, before we go deep in there, what was the deciding factor that made you choose Central High School? What was the deciding factor when you was PA? Think what school I want to go to now? My high school I want to go to.
So of course, I used to always be at Fair because my brother went to Fair.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And he was at Fair during that time, Sid and Faquan and Kim and Andre Blackman and Damian Ashford, Jason Johnson. What's the other big Jason?
Like all the cyborgs. All the cyborgs
went
to that
everybody
school,
over there. Devin Washington, all them guys. Yeah. So I used to stay over there. And then the basketball team had Xavier, they had Julio, right? They had some ballers over there.
Yeah.
And then Coach Cleveland, right? Coach Escola, he really didn't communicate with me as much. Yeah. But Cleveland was the one that was on me. Yeah. Right. And I went over there and I used to go and watch them play, said them senior year. I spent the whole day, I skipped school. I spent the whole day in one of my brother classes. I can't think of that, Miss Calloway or something. She was a teacher over there. Yeah. But I stayed the whole day in her class, like, just trying to see what the school was like. Yeah. And the reason I didn't go was that.
And ain't nothing like having a big brother.
Big brother that did what he wanted to do. That was the thing. Right? I mean, I'm sitting in his class. He ain't nowhere to be found. But the reason why I didn't go to Fair, I wanted to go to Fair. The reason why I didn't go to Fair is because I knew Sid was leaving. Yeah. And I felt like I was better than all the running backs that was returning. Yeah. Right? I mean, I'd seen him my whole life. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I had a conversation with him. I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna come over here, I want to start. I want to start from jump because I had goals.
Oh, for sure.
I had goals. Sure. At that time, like I was probably a little bit more mature than I should have been because I had already counted how many games I had to play in high school.
Yeah, kids don't realize going 3 years, all 3 undefeated at PH. I mean, yes, you coming in with steady terms. Yeah,
that's a question. What did they teach you that winning culture? You used to winning going to PH. How did they prepare you into going to high school?
Well, first of all, we were tough. Yeah. Right? We wasn't soft. I mean, if a coach can hit you in the head with a clipboard and you like, yes, sir, and you going on out there and get it done. Yeah. Right, that's mentally you got to be tough.
You condition, yes, sir.
And then nobody outworked us. Like at PH, I can guarantee you, if I went to all their practices were none like ours. Right. We going from start to finish in football is running. Yep. Right.
Then you guys got to run the track.
Up and down. Hey, we running. If you're on the sideline, you need to be sitting here because you finna go in, right? And then after every practice, one thing Coach Williams never spared us on is conditioning. Yeah. So we was always the best team that was in shape. Like
y'all ran track too, right?
Down in, huh?
Did he have y'all running track too? Didn't he? Yeah, he had.
Oh, it was mandatory.
Yeah,
it was mandatory. Like I told him, I don't run track. I'm not running track. He's like, no, it's mandatory.
You don't got no choice. This is what you got.
Right. So I'm from Southwest Little Rock. I got all these little bitty green shorts. I'm like, man, that's weird, bro. But I'm glad he did me like that because now I tell every athlete, if you can do anything, run track. Yeah, you're gonna play basketball, run track. If you're gonna any sport, run track. Track just gonna make you better, it's gonna keep you in shape, it's gonna make you stronger, right? But that culture taught us, not just me, but everybody that went over there, like you don't have to lose,
Right.
right? Losing is not normal. That's what it basically taught us because we didn't lose.
Yeah,
Even when we came close to losing, we were pissed off about that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so next time we played them, we wanted to beat them by 30. Right. So the mentality was I'm better than them.
For sure.
I work harder than them. I'm smarter than them. I'm tougher than them. Right. That was the mentality. And I honestly believe every player that left Coach Williams' program, at least in the era that I came through, felt like that. Because all of them went somewhere and started.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So that was the mind frame. So me having that conversation with Coach Cleveland basically was like, nah, you ain't gonna start.
Crazy. Boy, crazy.
Did you look at my resume? Did you look what I just did?
Man.
Nah, but they coming off a championship, you know, they undefeated. So this was during the season. They undefeated. They got said. They got all these players behind them. Now they went to the semifinals the next year, so they still had a stacked roster still.
They
right?
had Damien. I think Damien was
they
Damien.
Had Damien. Mo Fang was over there.
Yeah.
Right. They had some ball players. Andre Blackman.
Yeah.
So they had some athletes in that backfield. Right. Yeah. But Coach Cleveland basically was like, nah, you ain't gonna start. And I felt like at the time, you know, like I said, I studied these guys. I felt like what Sid was doing, I was gonna outperform. You know, I'm a kid. You gotta look at it. I'm a man now, so I gotta look at it differently now. But as a kid, being competitive like that, I'm like, man, I'm in the 10th grade. I'm just as good as Sid. Now I was a little naive because I went 6'1", 215.
Man.
Right. I'm 5'9", 175. Right.
It looked different with the all black and gold, though. It did look different with the all black and gold when you just the all black uniform was cold.
Yeah. So rest in peace, Coach Rip. We all used to hang out at Coach Rip house. Me, Faquan, Mario Hubbard. Y'all know Mario. Damian Ashford. Right. We even had rooms at his house. Right. We if we didn't want to go home, we just stay at Coach Rip house. But Damian and Faquan going into my 10th grade year. So this is before Faquan had to report to Fayetteville because Faquan was defensive player of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? People forget that Sid was player of the year and they had the defensive player of the year on the other side. We ain't even talking about Damian and Jason and all them other guys that came with it. But they was out there and they was like, so again, I told you I watched tape, right?
Yeah.
They had their championship tape where they had the highlights from every game.
Right.
I used to watch that tape every day.
Wow.
Right. And what I was doing was I was studying Sid.
Right.
Because Sid was the guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was studying Sid and I'm like, all right, this is what he do good. This is what I need to do better. Right. So one day we out there and Faquan and Damian, we talking, and I told them, yeah, I'm going to Central. And they was like, what, you ain't going to Fair? I'm like, nah, I ain't going to Fair. And Faquan was like, you ain't as good as Sid. I said, man, I'm better than Sid.
Boy. Yes, sir. Southwest, baby. That's Southwest.
And Damian like, boy, shut up. Like, damn, I'm better than Sid. I'm a ninth grader. I'm going to my 10th grade year.
Yeah.
And Faquan say, how many yards you gonna rush for? 1,000? I said, nope. He said, 1,500? I said, nope. He said, 2,000? I said, yep. And the reason why I said it is because Sid had rushed for 2,004, 2,009 yards that year.
Yeah.
Right. So the benchmark for me was 2,000.
Right.
It was always 2,000 because Sid went for 2,000.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I went into the season, that's all that was on my mind is how can I get to 2,000?
2K. Yes, sir.
That's a hell of a mindset.
Yeah. That's it.
Right. As a 10th grader, I went into summer practice like, all right, how I get to this 2,000. So I started breaking the 2,000 down in my head. Like I said, I was a basketball player.
Yeah.
And my dad used to always tell me, you know how to get 30?
Yep.
I'm like, huh? He's like 30 points. 7 points a quarter, go to the free throw line one time, knock down both of them. 7 times 4, 28. You hit 2 free throws, you got 30. So I used to think about the game that way. Like, all right, how many yards do I need to get 2,000? I got 10 guaranteed games. I need to get 200 yards a game.
Man.
So the first game, my mindset against and then I used to read the paper.
Yeah.
And I read the paper to get motivation.
Oh, 100%.
I wanted to know who they call the guy, what they saying, what the newspaper saying about us, whatever, right? And then when I was coming in, they were talking about Eddie Robinson. And what people don't know is Eddie was the starter. But Eddie, something happened to where Eddie wasn't eligible going into that next year football season.
Yeah. So it's over. Show us for the
So
take.
now it's wide open.
Wide open.
Right. So I went in camp and I killed camp. So I come out of it and I read this article right before the first game. They was talking about De'Arius Howard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they he the next coming, this and that, this and that. But he coming to Central, right? All right, cool. And, man, the funny thing about it is I had messed up my cleats. I had blew one of them out. And I needed some cleats that night, right? So Coach Cox used to have his box in the office that had all these old cleats in it. Yeah. And I grabbed these cleats. They were some ponies. Right? They were some ponies. And I strapped them bad boys up. And I went for 232 the first game.
And some ponies.
3 touchdowns.
Yes, sir.
And some ponies.
When did you wear the gold chain? When did the gold chain?
My junior year. That's when that started. My junior year. When I felt like I know what I'm doing, that's when it started. Yeah, but that's how it all started.
How long you keep them ponies, though?
I wore them all year long.
Oh.
After I went for 232, I followed up with that next game was McClellan. I had 278, 3 touchdowns. That next game was Sylvan Hills. I think I had 250, right? And then the next game was Hall, and I had another 200, right? So I had 1,000 in 4.5 games.
4.5 games.
It was
970 in 4 games.
Then shoot, the school to keep you in shape. People don't realize how big Central is. All them steps you got to go up and down, all over.
Yeah, that was a change. But PH was big too, right? Yeah. The way they spread it out, man. They kind of made you go from one side of the school to the other. But now Central a different beast, man.
And then Coach Cox, I know he had y'all out there on that field with that son. I know he had y'all.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying is Coach Cox was disciplined, right? It was all about discipline. And he believed in the bleachers. He used to always tell me, "Hey, if you want to get faster, get in the bleachers." So I would stay in the bleachers. After practice, I'm gonna go run me 5 or I'm gonna go run me 10. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I knew he was a believer in it because when people tell you something, if they do it, guess what? They believe it. And I used to see him in the bleachers every day before practice.
Wow.
I come down early. Coach Cox would be running up and down. He'd run up the bleacher and walk down. Run up the bleacher and walk down. Well, we had to do 10 and 10.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. So you got to run up the bleachers and you got to do 10 and 10. Yeah. You got a minute to get up there and get down.
Yeah.
That's everybody now. If somebody miss, that don't count. Right? So it was and then he wasn't scared to tell you that you ain't as good as you think you are.
Yeah. Kids don't hear that nowadays. Yeah.
Right. He went and instead of us being like, man, coach tripping, we kind of took it like, all right, I'm gonna show you.
Right.
I'm gonna show you I'm as good as I think I am. You know what I mean? But that's kind of how he kept the edge too. Is I'm Bernie Cox. Yeah. You know.
So when did the superstar come on for Dedrick? When did it all come together? The intersection of the talent, you in the newspaper all the time, the eclipse, you pulling out the eclipse.
Man, honestly, that started before that. Yeah. When I went to high school,
you had the eclipse in 10th grade? When did y'all eat? Was it
in the 10th grade. Yeah. But the mentality started before I got to high school.
For sure.
Like
For
it was like I said, I always wanted to prove that I was better than the next man.
Sure.
Right. So that mentality, I had that mentality
Man.
going into 7th grade that
Yeah.
I'm the guy. Right.
Yeah.
I think when I kind of realized that I was gonna be able to go somewhere playing sports, I got my first letter from Texas in the 7th grade.
Wow.
Spring 7th grade.
Oh.
Texas sent me a letter and they was like, "Hey, we watching you." I don't know how they seen me. I don't know how they found out about
on
it.
the internet, on no YouTube, and they saw them.
Right. So but I got my Coach Williams gave me my first letter. I'll never forget it. Hey, you got a letter from Texas. I'm like, Texas who? Right. And it was the Longhorns. Right. He opened it up and they was like, we watching you. But after that, man, 8th grade, I think when I realized I can probably go to college in basketball, is 8th grade, I started dunking.
Yeah.
Right. And I went up in Horace Mann game at Horace Mann gym and I dunked it, but it came off the back of the rim. Right. So I missed it. And Coach Williams called timeout. And when I'm walking to the bench, he on me, right? He like, don't do that again. You could have got 2 points, whatever. And then he leaned over in my ear. He said, do it again. Like that, right?
Do it again. Do it one more time.
Right, do it again. So the next break, I caught Dalen passed it up to me, and it was right before halftime. I went up there, and soon as I got ready to cock it back, the buzzer went off, and I dunked it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to halftime, right? And then from that point on, I kind of felt like, all right, I'm in the 8th grade. I'm dunking. I'm athletic. I can probably play basketball in college.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wasn't sure about football yet.
Yeah.
But when I went for that 2 stacks in the 10th grade, I mean, all the doors kind of opened up. And see, one thing that I did was I studied the guys in Little Rock. Like who was my inspiration as a kid was Corey Nichols.
Okay.
Running back for McClellan. That was my guy. Like, I wore number 1 in my senior year, right? The whole number 1 thing, that was all Corey, because that was like my idol. Right? He was the first guy I saw out of Southwest.
For sure.
That, you know what I'm saying? When he put on and went to Fayetteville. So I used to look at them, but I also looked at the guys that was just as good that didn't make it. And most of the time it was because they couldn't pass that test.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
At that time,
ACT.
you had to make a certain score on the ACT. Yeah. So I had told Coach Rip going into my 10th grade year, I'm like, hey, put me in ACT classes.
Yes.
He's like, nah, they used to have them at Park, right? Yeah. But you had to be in the 10th grade in order. Keith Jackson wouldn't let you go to the classes unless you were in the 10th grade. Well, I used to sneak into the classes because I was so scared that I would be one of the guys that didn't pass the test. All my talent go to waste.
Right. Yeah, that's the vision off the field.
Off the field, right? I mean, you coming up in the hood, you like, I got to figure it out. Yeah. Right. And I
we try to tell the kids on the other podcast, it's like you got to think about everything, the whole table, not just pieces of it. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
I'm glad to hear that from you.
Yeah. So I used to do that. So my 10th grade year, October, I had took the ACT. So by the time I went for that 2000, right, the scores were back. I had passed the ACT. Right. So now every school in America called me.
Mm-hmm.
Every school in the country sending letters. They calling Coach Cox. They want to know, right? But that was all because, and sometimes fear is good. I was fearful that I would fail. So I was trying to get out in front of it early.
100%, yeah.
Right. When they would tell me, they were telling me, man, you ain't got to take that test yet. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna take it now. Right. Not knowing that if I pass it and I have a great year, the next 2 years is a cakewalk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how it happened.
Let's talk to the young kids. Tell them about this test, how tough this was, because we all from Southwest. How were you able to stay out the trenches, being in the trenches, like growing up in Southwest, being a superstar? You know what I'm saying? How you able to kind of stay out of trouble? Because that's what a lot of kids struggle with too in Southwest. You know, in that time,
I
because
yeah, no, I get it. I got personal
yeah,
experiences.
yeah,
Man, I just was always true to me.
sweet,
Like
yes
always,
sir,
I knew I wanted to be an athlete. I knew I wanted to play pro at some point, right? I wanted
right,
to be a college athlete. I knew I wanted to be that.
right.
That was it. That was me. That's how I saw myself.
That's what's up.
Um, of course, y'all know where I came up from. You
Oh,
know
for
some of
sure,
my family,
for
right?
sure.
I was in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Shout out Dial Pride. Dial Pride sometimes is one of
DP,
my good friends. We laugh about
DP,
this.
man, for sure,
But when I went to PH, I think this is when I kind of put things into perspective.
for
I
sure.
went to PH and there was two twins that went there. They was from the north side. I don't know how they got over there, but they was from the north side. Hell of athletes
Yeah,
though.
Yeah.
from the north
Like
side, yeah,
Irvin and
that
Marvin
definitely,
was some
Yeah.
hell of athletes, but they
yeah,
were from a folk neighborhood,
yeah,
right? And they knew my brother, right, was
yeah,
a vice lord, right?
yeah,
So they hemmed me up one day, and DP them was right there, and they was like,
yeah.
"Hey man, you a vice lord?" And I just told the truth. I was like, "Nah."
No, hmm.
They was like, "But your brother won." I said, "Yeah." He's like, "But you not one." I'm like, "Nah."
For
And they
sure,
kind of looked at me. And they was like, "All right." And I went on about my business, right?
right.
But I knew at that moment, I was like, "All right, that's what I've been trying to avoid my whole life,
For
right?"
sure. For sure.
Even to the point to where I was in the ninth grade. So now I done made a name. Everybody know who I am.
Everybody know who you are. For sure.
Some of the guys, I'm still going to Wakefield though, right? I'm
Right.
still hooping with the guys. I'm still with the
Right.
neighborhood. And some of the guys wanted to quote me. Like
Wow.
wasn't
Yeah.
gonna give me a choice. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like, nah, we finna get in this ring.
Yeah.
You finna get in the middle and we finna quote you.
Yeah.
Well, it was my brother, one of my brother homeboys, one of the guys who used to be like Lil Drick playing all
Yeah.
the time. He was like, "Nah, Drick ain't getting quoted.
For sure. Straight OG
Drick
stuff
got a
now.
future, whatever, whatever." Then
For
one of the
sure.
other ones stepped up, was like, "Nah, Drick got a future." Well, they went against it. They was like, "Well,
Wow.
if he from the hood, he getting quoted. This is what it
Yeah.
is." Then my brother showed up.
Your brother showed up. They showed up.
Somebody told me, and he ended up showing up to. It was a big deal, and
Yeah.
weapons were drawn, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But at the end of the day, my brother was like, "Hey man, get your ball, go home.
Yeah. For sure. Shout out to Big
Let
Bro,
me
man.
deal with this." You know what I'm saying?
Much
He's
Because he
respect.
was
real OG.
already in it, right?
Much
He
respect.
was already doing it.
For
But he
sure.
was
How
like,
old were
"Get
you
your ball,
then?
go home."
He was
I
in
was
ninth
probably
grade.
about 14,
Yeah.
15 years old, 14, 15 years old. So he was already, my
Yeah.
Yeah,
brother, he was junior in high school at the
Yeah.
time.
Shout out to
You
Big
know what I
Bro, man.
mean? He was already doing his thing. But yeah, he was him, Brandon, and Lil J, R.I.P. Lil
Yeah.
J. But yeah, they all stood up. They was like, Drake ain't getting quoted.
That's what's up. Cause these
So
just
that's
young
that's
kids
that's
now
how you
trying
do
to
it.
keep them out of trouble, man. Trying to get them to think about, like, man, one choice, man, can just you can't get that choice back, man. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, man. Life is tough. You know what I'm saying?
Life is tough, but you just
Yeah,
gotta, you can't have identity crisis,
for
right?
sure.
You gotta know who
Yes,
you
sir.
are, what you want, where you want to go. And I tell my kids all the time, be selfish about your future.
Be
Be
selfish
selfish about it.
about
Ain't
your
nothing
future,
wrong with that.
man.
Ain't nothing wrong with you being selfish
Be
about your
selfish
future.
about your future.
Yeah, if
100%.
they ain't gonna fall in line about your future, then they ain't
Mm-mm.
supposed to be in your circle.
Yeah.
amen. Hey, what
So
was
what's go ahead.
on the
Go ahead, Jay.
field? Like, what was some of your biggest memories in high school, or some of your biggest games, basketball or football?
Well, the biggest would be basketball, right? Winning state
Yeah.
my junior year and being the MVP, 5A MVP.
Oh, okay.
That's the biggest memory.
Was
Because I
you on the
think
team with Showtime?
Yeah, Ron
Yeah,
Hendry. That's one of my
Ron,
best friends.
Hey,
We talk
hey,
every day,
Ron.
man.
Was Bud on the team with you too? Was
Bud
Bud on
too.
there?
Yeah,
Shout
they're
out
my
to them.
boys,
Shout out
man.
to them,
We all still
Yeah.
tight, right?
Yeah.
Derek Mason,
Yeah, for sure.
right? Derek, the one who got the block to seal the game at the end of the
Yeah.
game. But yeah, that would be the biggest memory. I think from a football perspective, man, I had got on a run to where I just knew, right? It was like I tell Mike Ross this all the time. He'd be like, it's like if you had eyes in the back of your head. I was like, nah, I had saw the picture so many times that it was a reaction. I didn't where most people would
'Cause
see
you
the
studied
picture
the
and have to
game.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch so much film. I didn't seen this picture over and over again that
sure.
when you do this, I know I need to do that. Right.
Exactly.
So
Forecast.
it had got to that type of moment for me in football. So I knew I was gonna be good, but basketball was always a challenge because now everybody's looking at me as a football player.
Right. Yeah.
And now I'm trying to prove, no, this is my first love. This is where I cut my teeth. Right.
Yeah, I noticed when you ran, when you used to run the ball, you used to do that Marshall Falk, that little Marshall Falk juke where you kind of shuffle, then go the opposite way.
Yeah, that actually that was Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis.
Right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Terrell Davis.
Two
was
players I
a
patterned my game after. You had mentioned him early was Peter Ward. So
Peter
my
Ward, yeah.
my footwork came from Peter Ward.
Peter Ward.
Right. But seeing the whole vision, how to move through the hole, that was all Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
Right. Then I added a little Marshall at the end, but Peter Ward and Terrell Davis were the guys who I kind of patterned my game because Terrell Davis was a one-cut guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
One cut, go.
He one cut and I'm to the house. Right. I make two cuts, I'm definitely to the house.
And then cut back off.
But then Peter Ward was the, I'm gonna put the sauce.
He wasn't fast, but he'll shake you in the phone, boo.
That's where I got that from.
So, who are some of your biggest rivals offensively in football and defensively as well?
So offensively, I didn't have any rivals, right? I think the only time I felt like I had a rival was playing Mount Home, and that wasn't on football. That was more so on some racist stuff.
Yeah.
What they did when I got off the bus.
Boy.
Right.
Man.
So they had homecoming, and of course we at Mount Home. They had a float from homecoming sitting right in front of, you had to go and get dressed in the gym.
Yeah.
Well, they set the float right in front of the gym.
Oh.
And they had this life-size tiger.
Yeah.
Charles Blake talk about it. Rep Blake, he talk about it all the time. They had this life-size tiger with my jersey on it.
Wow.
Number 30. And they had the face spray painted black.
Wow.
And they had it hanging from a noose.
Hanging from a crazy.
So
Mount Home crazy, man.
Yeah, when we got up there, like the coaches saw it first, so they wouldn't let us get off the bus.
Yeah.
So they was trying to get somebody to move it. Well, they wouldn't move it. So when I got off the bus and I saw it, it lit a fire in me.
I'm giving 300.
I did in 2 quarters. 302 quarters.
Bruh.
They won't do it. That'll teach you. They won't do it again.
302 quarters. And I had scored, I think I had like 5 touchdowns. No, I had 4. I should have had 5. But Coach Cox had told me, I don't want you to score again.
Yeah, he didn't want the safety for safety.
So I broke one. I broke like a 50-yarder.
Yeah.
And I stopped at the 1-yard line and I kneeled down and walked out the field.
That's even worse.
That's even better though. That's cold. It's like, man, I'm not even for the get out, but I'm just gonna stop at the one. Y'all can't stop me, man.
Right. And coach didn't play me no more that game.
Right. Homecoming. They homecoming.
They're homecoming. But see, I had never saw. Yeah, I had never saw anything like that. I knew what it was when I saw it, but I had never experienced it. You know what I mean?
At that scale.
Right. So I got to see this getting off the bus, and you got to get taped outside. So I'm sitting there outside getting taped, and I'm looking at. I'm like, damn, like really?
Yeah. Boy, for real.
So
You think how much
I'm
time it take to even do something like that? Just how much you put so much time into that. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
you gonna remember this number 30 tonight.
Yes,
Boy,
That's
sir.
how I felt about it.
I'm sure they're waking up and thinking
We
about
tried to get Nick. What you think about Nick? We tried to get Nick Pettis to come on here.
No,
man.
no,
We did it next time.
so when we think about rivals, of course, Hall was a rival,
Yeah.
right? But for me personally, it was always McClellan because it was like playing home.
Yeah.
I'm from
For sure.
Southwest, so everybody that was at McClellan, I was really supposed to be playing with them guys. And trust me, they let me know it all the time. You left the neighborhood, you should be over here. See,
Yeah.
and then Coach Gunn kind of pissed me off too because he kind of tried to throw me under the bus when I decided I was going to Central. So he made a big deal out of it. He even came to my house. And I got off the bus, and Coach Gunn was in my house trying to get my mama to get me to go to McClellan. And then he made a big deal. So every time I saw Coach Gunn, I was trying to bust him up anyway. Nick and them never knew it, right? But so if you go and see some of them highlights when I played McClellan, a lot of times I was looking at the sideline. I was talking to Coach Gunn.
Coach Gunn. Coach Gunn.
That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach. I wasn't even talking to Nick now.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to Coach Gunn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just had a vendetta against him. I felt like he tried to railroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but player wise, yeah, Nick, you gotta go Nick. Because Nick hit me one time, knocked my helmet off. And I ain't like it.
No,
right.
Right.
Who else in the city? Again, Hall was just the rival.
Yeah.
Fair, we only got to play Fair 1 year, my 10th grade year, and then I think they went down a division.
Oh, okay.
Right. So that kind of threw things off. But man, I can't really say I had any rivals because I never lost to them. Right. In football, I lost to Fair my 10th grade year, but that's the only Little Rock school that ever beat me in football. From junior high to high school, I never lost to any Little Rock school.
Yeah.
Right. I would always lose to like a school up north, something like
country
that.
fed, corn fed dudes, yeah.
Well, they was running the spread, right? And we were still running the eye.
Yeah.
So when we didn't see anybody really running the spread down in Little Rock, right? You didn't see that unless you went up north or Warren or something like that. So
pocket quarterback in high school. They got pocket quarterbacks in high school passing that thing.
Man, they running shotgun. We out here, we gonna run it, you know. And I hate we didn't run the spread because we had Josh Sullivan. Josh Sullivan probably would have went to any school he wanted to go to if they'd have just let him throw the ball.
Throw the ball, yeah.
Right.
So with all that talent in high school, the championship, let's talk to let them young boys know that's playing football now. How was that transition from going to high school to going to Fayetteville, going up on the hill, like workouts and stuff and preparation?
It was nothing like going from junior high to high school. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Right. I even went early. I went early in the summer.
Yeah.
And
were you Houston Nut? Were you under Houston Nut?
Yeah, I was so my 10th grade year I committed to Miami.
Right? Oh wow. I wish you was
Coach Davis.
Yeah.
And Davis bolted and he went to the Cleveland Browns, right? Because he's from Arkansas. Okay. Right. So him and Coach Cox was tight. And then I committed to Florida, to Spurrier.
Wow.
That's why everybody be like, bro, you should have went to Florida.
Yeah, I remember we was talking about that in the streets. Like, yeah, you know, Dedrick Poole, he was committed to Florida.
And then Spurrier left and went to Washington. He went and coached the Washington Redskins. Yeah. And Nut had just had a big year, right? And he's from Central. So he called me one day and he's like, hey, man, you tried to leave me twice. Well, come on home. That's how I ended up going to Arkansas.
Dedrick Poole, come on home, baby. Come on.
That's what he said. You might as well come on home. That's how I ended up going. But no, I went that summer, and I never forget my first day, just the warm up. The warm up was like 25 minutes long. Ooh. And I remember sweating. I'm like, ooh. where we going next? And they looked at me. They was like, bro, that was warm up. I'm like, what?
What?
That was warm ups. Like,
Practice it.
yeah,
What
that's warm ups. Now we finna get into the running. I'm like, but we just did all this. What are you talking about?
Man.
Right?
Yeah.
But no, it was basically it's a transition. You're going from a high school player to a semi-pro.
Yeah.
You're basically going to be a semi-pro. Because what I had to realize is in high school, your performance doesn't dictate if somebody feed their family.
Right. Yeah. College.
Right.
Yeah.
They teach class. They do all kind of stuff. In college, all they do is coach.
Coach. Yeah.
Right. And not only that, everybody that's associated with the football program in the program, their jobs depend on that head coach. So if that head coach get fired, everybody get fired.
Everybody
training staff, everybody gotta go. So that's when I kind of put it together. I was like, dang, this is like pro level stuff. Yeah. Right. So they train you like a pro. Right. Man. You got to be on time. You got to eat a certain amount of calories. Yeah. If you ain't going to the calf, they know they got people that watch everything you do.
Man.
Right. They know if you went to class, if you didn't go to class. Right. If you ain't in class, somebody gonna come by your room and knock on your door.
That campus
they
is
know
huge.
Who you hang out with. They know who you was with if you went out Saturday night and you was hanging out. They know who you was with. Right. They know if you did something you weren't supposed to do. I mean, it's just
wow.
Again, everybody life depending on it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? They got that microscope on you. But once you get in the program and you start working, I mean, it's just like anything else. You train your body to where it becomes the norm. You go to the next level.
So what we think the size difference like going to playing in the SEC versus I know that was the linebackers. They trying to thump you, boy. They
hell of a size difference.
230 trying to thump you,
So I thought Jason Johnson was one of the biggest people I seen on the football field. Jason 6'4", 300. And I went up there on a recruiting visit and I seen Big John Henderson. They were playing Tennessee. Yeah. And I was down on the field. Man. And I seen John Henderson, 6'7", 6'8", 315, 320.
Looking like a monster.
And that's when I realized, oh snap, this is a different world.
Yeah. What was your max weight in college? You had to get up to.
I got up to 205.
205? Yeah.
205. Wow. Right. 5'10" and a half, 5'11", 205.
And they had you returning punch too, didn't they? For Arkansas, they had you returning punch and running.
Yeah, I did. I did some kick return, punt return. Okay. I mean, shit, I got my chance to start. The game I got hurt. I should have been the starter from the jump, but you know how it goes. They give people their opportunity.
For sure.
They've been there. But coming out of halftime, I think I had like 7 carries for 44 yards in the second quarter.
Is that the injury? Where the hamstring came off the bone? Is that the injury with the hamstring?
Yeah. So coming out of halftime, Coach Nutt, he wrapped his arm around me. He said, I don't care what nobody say, you my starter going forward.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm lit. Right. Yeah. And I go right out there that next series. And Coach Nutt, like, what play you want to come out with? Dude, we walking out from halftime. I'm like, you know what my favorite play is? He like 27 week. I'm like, yep. And what it does is it put me one-on-one with the safety.
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah. And he called it. We jumped outside. Well, I'm in the huddle. I'm like, hey, bro, we finna go 80. Everybody like we going 80, bet. Because I know the play. I'm one-on-one with this safety. I know this safety. I'm making him miss. And so I forget who jumped outside, but somebody jumped outside. So we get back to the huddle. They like, fuck it. We going to go 85, 88. Nah, it was 88. We going to go 88. So we had to go 83, then 88. Like, all right, cool. We going 88. So, man, when Matt handed me that ball, the hole, like, opened up.
Yeah.
Like, we all in the huddle. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Everybody putting their best foot forward. It opened up, and it was just me and the safety. And I stuck him inside, and I jumped back outside. Yeah. He went all the way inside. Wow. And a number green grass, and I fell to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's how the injury happened. It would have been an 88-yard touchdown. I went back and I watched the film. I'm just like, yeah, it wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the injury, yeah, I ripped all three hamstring muscles off the pelvis and took some of the bone with it.
Woo. Then tell me how long did it take you to just like get enough where you can even trust your leg again? You know, the process of going through the rehab and stuff like that. I know that had to
Man,
be
so I spent 2.5 months with my leg pent up, like right behind me.
So confused back. Okay, wow.
Yeah, it was fused back, so they didn't want it to stretch out and nothing like that. So I was at a brace for 2.5 months. When I finally got out of it, man, I couldn't even walk.
Wow.
I couldn't even walk. Like I couldn't stand up. My leg was so weak, I couldn't even stand up. And I did it on my own, right? I was just like, you know how you get sick and tired of it?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I took it off and I tried to stand up and I fell to the floor.
You too competitive,
And then I picked myself up and I'm started walking down the wall, like holding myself up. So the next day, my boy Nick McGee, he used to be my fullback at Central, one of my best friends. I called him and I'm like, hey man, pick me up. He like, pick you up for what? I'm like, take me to the mall, Park Plaza.
Yeah,
I was home for the break.
For sure.
And he's like, take you to the mall. I'm like, yeah, I gotta walk. He's like, bro, you can't walk. I'm like, yes, I can. So he took me to the mall, bro. And when I say I was taking baby steps through the mall, like for a whole 2 hours, I just wanted to walk through the mall like baby steps. And my boy was with me. And that's how my process started, my recovery started.
Okay.
Right. As I was trying to get over it mentally.
Right.
And then from then on, I think by the time spring came around, hell, I was playing in the spring game.
Okay.
And I wasn't supposed to play for an entire year. So it took me about 6 months. 6 months to get back to where I could play. It took me about a year and a half to where I felt like 100%. I'm back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all right, I'm gonna take off, right?
So how'd you deal with that mentally, being a man and then having to go through rehab and kind of wait till you get back to yourself? Like a lot of people don't talk about that. Like when you like the star and you got to go through the rehab, like, you know, they probably not giving you the star treatment at Arkansas like they probably should be. You know, they kind of, you know, how did you kind of go through it and not lose the confidence?
Well, so when I had the injury, my leg was so swollen that they couldn't do x-rays for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Right? Because it was so swollen.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm going to practice, I'm sitting out, and then finally when the x-rays come back, like Dean Weber, RIP Dean Weber, he's a good guy, he's a good man. He called Coach Nutt in the office, and I knew it was bad, right? Yeah. And then they called me in the office, and it was me, Houston, Danny, and Dean. Yeah. And Dean telling me about what happened. So he's showing me, you know, the MRI. He's showing me my leg, and I can feel it. Right, I ain't got no muscles back here. Right. All the muscles behind my knee.
Wow,
you know what I mean?
Ooh,
and he like, well, Dedrick, you know, you ruptured all 3 muscles. You see this little piece? This is a part of your pelvis that's actually bone. So you broke your pelvis, and you know it's 2% of the people that have this injury play football again.
Right.
So y'all know what took Ken Griffey Jr. out? The same injury. Ken Griffey was on top of the world. All of a sudden, he was gone. He had the same injury.
Took him a long time to recover.
When he told me that, of course, I cried like a baby because I thought it was over with.
Yeah.
Right. And then Dr. Colosimo, he did Ken Griffey Jr. surgery. They sent me up to Cincinnati to get the surgery by him. And I asked him, I was like, hey, man, can you fix me? He was like, well, you got to pray to God to ask him, can he fix you? I could put everything back, but to make you like you were again, you're going to have to pray about it. Yeah. Right. So I prayed, but once I started walking, once I went through that, take it off, I'm falling, I'm getting up, I'm falling, I'm getting up. Now I can stand up. All right, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna stand up for a while, take me to the mall, walk. once I started doing that, I didn't look back. Right.
Okay,
I didn't even care what anybody else thought. I was just
Yeah.
trying to get back to myself. Right. It was
Yeah.
mentally, like I said, that fire when I was a kid. Oh, they beat me. They
Yeah.
don't want to pick me up. It was the same drive
Yeah.
to try to get back on the field. The only
Yeah.
thing is coming back off of injury, I got Peyton Hillis coming in.
Man.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Boy.
then the next year I got D-Mac and Felix coming in.
Man.
Right.
Man.
So
Yeah.
by the time D-Mac got there, I felt like I was back. Right.
Yeah.
I felt like I was back. But honestly, I think Coach Nutt was scared I was gonna rupture it again or something like that.
He wanted that on his conscience.
Yeah. But I thought I won a starting job in the red and white game. I had like 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. Right. Everybody was congratulating me. Hey, bro, we know you're gonna be the starter. But Coach Nutt called me in the office and he was like, yeah, you probably should start, but you know what? We're at a reset because we had 2 years where I think we won like 5 games, right? So his job was on the line. And he was like, we're gonna go with the young guys. And I was like, what? He was like, we're going with the young guys. So he started Felix and D-Mac, and shit, the rest is history. Is the best decision he ever made.
Yeah. Shout out to Tony Hawkins. He said one of the best players I ever played against me.
Oh, yeah. Big Tony. That's fair alumni right there.
So is that when you transferred to UAPB?
So, yeah, I decided to transfer. I mean, I had 1 year. Looking back on it, I probably should have stayed, right? And just I probably would have had more opportunity. But, man, I wanted to get back on the field. I didn't know how good I was going to be. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I wanted to get back. When I went down there,
you was having fun at UAPB though with the team.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was. I wouldn't trade it for anything. From a business perspective,
for sure.
Right. I probably should have stayed in Fayetteville and just got ready for pro day or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get out on the field, and then, I always said if I ever had to transfer, I was going home. I was going UAPB. UAPB was the first college game I ever seen. The first game I saw was Independent down there in Shreveport at the Independence Bowl. It was UAPB and Grambling. Eddie Robinson last year.
Yeah.
Right. So that was my first time seeing that many educated Black people with nice things that was having a good time. You know what I mean? Sure. So that moment I said, all right, if I ever had to transfer, because Corey Nichols was down there at the time. Corey was playing. He was playing with Moody. They had the triplets.
Yep.
I think all them boys went for 1,000 that year.
Wow, that's great.
But I said if I ever had to transfer, I'm going to UAPB. So it just, it came full circle. And went down there, led them to a championship. We didn't win it, but man, it was a great experience. Ain't nothing like the swag, I tell you that.
I know, right? Swag, yeah.
Ain't nothing like the swag. SEC is different, but man, that swag experience, it changed your life.
Yeah. And then did you go from UAPB to Pro Day, or did you kind of take a break and then go to
Nah, so actually I did.
Okay.
So even at UAPB, man, I should have went to Philly. So Spytech, I think Spytech might be a GM or something. Like he like one of the big wigs now.
Okay.
He came to UAPB twice.
Oh wow. Okay.
Pulled me out of class and everything. Sat down, we watched film together, we talked the game. At the time, he was just, one of their scouts.
Right.
But he told me, he said, all right, we're gonna come get you. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I kind of blew it
right.
But I went to Pro Day at Arkansas. And
okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, I killed a Pro Day at Arkansas. Like everything I did, I think I did like 21 reps on the bench, 225, 21 times. I think I ran like a 4.47. I set the record in the L drill. Like I think my record's still up there for the L drill.
Yeah.
In fact, they made me run it twice.
I didn't believe it. They didn't believe it.
They didn't believe it. They all looking like, what? can you do that again? I did it again. I broke the record twice. Don Decker, the one who told me, hey,
Yeah.
bro, you broke the record twice.
That's what's up.
Right.
Wow.
But Philly, I was supposed to go to Philly at the time. They had already drafted Sean Andrews and Jason.
Yeah.
Oh
Jason,
man,
Sean.
Jason Peters. And
Yeah,
I used to
Peters,
run
yeah.
with Big P. I still,
Yeah.
me and Big P still communicate.
That's what's up.
But Spy Tech called me. So draft day come. You know, I had gotten in trouble, right? I got into trouble with a mod. That was crazy how that happened.
Yeah.
But Spy Tech called me draft day. So it's like 5th or 6th round. He's like, hey, Dedrick, we're gonna take you free agent, but we're gonna pay you as a free agent to come in. I'm like, all right. I'm like, y'all ain't gonna draft me. He was like, we can't draft you, but Coach Reed's right here. We're gonna take you free agent.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get the money right with your agent. Right.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, with my agent, he's like, yeah, he asking for too much money.
Oh,
so I had this guy named Marty Magic.
Yeah.
Marty Magic, he got kicked out of the league. He can't be an agent no more. You remember when I think it was Duberville was a rookie. He set the sack record.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to get paid $1 million, and the agent messed up on his contract. He didn't put the paperwork in. That was Marty Magic, right? So I called Marty. I'm like, Marty, Spy Tech called me. He said you asked for too much money. He's like, what? I said, yeah, he just called me. Like, all right, I'm gonna call him. So I called Spy Tech back. And he answered. I'm like, you talked to Marty? He was like, yeah, we talked to him. Coach Reeves just said he gonna go in a different direction.
Oh man, that's crazy. But yeah, tell them kids, and the agents, man. Like, did y'all click up somebody introduce you to him, or did y'all just?
Yeah, so Sam Elijah Butu, you know, he one of my close friends. We were coming out together. I didn't have an agent, right? Okay. And he came, you know, they wine and dine, you do all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And hell, I just wanted representation, right? I didn't know nothing about him like that, right? We talked to a few people. They say he was a stand-up guy. Turned out he was a crook at the end of the day.
Crook, yeah.
But yeah, so I ended up not going to Philly. That's where I wanted to go. If I'd have went to Philly, I'd have been doing, because at the time they had Westbrook, right? So Andy Reid wanted small backs. His scheme,
all
like
purpose.
Who I was just like Westbrook. I can run routes, I can line up wide, I can punt, return, kick, I can do it all at a high level. But then Marty he had a relationship with Tampa with Gruden, right? And that's why I tell people, like, when you look at it, a lot of times it's not about the talent, it's where you go and where you fit.
Networks.
Right? Yeah. And if they already got what they need at your position, it's hard for them coaches to like bring somebody on, right? Yeah. Because like Gruden told me, he said, hey, Dedrick, I'm gonna be honest with you, you talented, right? It's clear you got a lot of talent. But in order to make this team, you're gonna have to be 3 times better than the guys I got. Man, he got Joey Galloway at the time.
All-star.
You got guys like that, right? And I'm not saying I couldn't compete with him, but he's like, I'm like, you want me to be 3 times better than the guy that's a pro
Was Warwick done there? Was he still there when you got there? He had gone by then?
No, Warwick wasn't there because they had just drafted Darby out of Alabama.
Yeah, but okay. Wow.
They had just drafted Darby. I think they drafted him 2nd or third round or something like that. Mm-hmm. No, I think they drafted him 2nd round. They drafted Butu 3rd round. But when he said that, I kind of knew the writing was on the wall right then. He was like, you know, I hang with their families. I know their kids. My wife hangs with their wives. So you're going to have to be 3 times better than them for me to give you a roster spot. Now, that's not saying they ain't go out there and they ain't perform, because I definitely put up some hell of a tape out there.
Right.
But, you know, he made the decision to cut me, to release me. Right. After he released me, I ended up going to Canada, and I did well in Canada, but I still was on probation. So I wouldn't actually supposed to even be in Canada, because when you got open cases, Canada don't let you in.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And
Yeah.
then based on my situation, I would have had to return to the US every month
Yeah.
in order to see who I needed to
Yeah.
see. Right.
Yeah.
So they
And the
just
hassle.
decided, hey, and I'll be honest, outside of G. Roy Simon, I was the best receiver on the league on the team.
Right.
Right. But from a business perspective,
Yeah.
right, it wouldn't have looked good for the organization.
Yeah.
And I just don't think they wanted to deal with it. Right.
Yeah.
So after that, it was like, all right, what can I do? So I went and played some arena ball. My last year I played with Tyler Knight.
Okay. T-Knight, that's what's up.
And we was down here in Dallas. We played in the Wrangler. And I went for 48 touchdowns and I missed like 3 games.
Yeah.
My last game, the Ravens, the Rams, and the Cardinals was at the game, but now one of them offered me an opportunity to come to camp. So after that, I was just like, I got kids now. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go into corporate America and do something different.
Yeah, and that's the question. Tony Hawkins really said he looked out for me on the hill and got me an opportunity to be a hog, good guy all around.
Oh yeah, man.
So after the career is over, how do you turn off the competitive drive and be like go and try to be in the regular world after being an athlete?
So
you've been an athlete for a long time.
It's the same mind frame, right? I've seen what happens after they stop playing.
Yeah.
Right. Like I hadn't thought about this as a kid.
For sure.
You know what I mean? The whole process.
Sounds like you studying tape. Yeah, you think about
I thought about the whole process. So I never wanted to be one of those guys that when the lights went off, they didn't know how to transition.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I see it all the time. I see guys they stop playing and now they like, all right, what do I do? Even some with degrees, they like, what do I do?
Right.
For me, it was just, man, I always knew I was smart, right? I knew I could talk to people. So I mean, I went right into the IT industry. A guy gave me an opportunity to work for Rico America, right? Okay. At the time, I think they were like $58 billion organization.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. So you know about Rico's, right?
Yeah. For sure.
I went in as entry level. I was making $27,000 base and everything else commission. Yeah. And he told me, he was like, hey, in sales, it's about numbers, right? It's about how many people you talk to, right? And how many people you can close. Once you know how many people you talk to versus the number you close, you can kind of set, all right, I talked to 10 people, I closed one deal. Well, now in order to close 10 deals, you got to talk to 100 people. Yeah, so I was playing the numbers game. Yes, sir. And coming up where we come up, it was just a hustle. Right. So I figured out the product. Now it's just about hustling, talking to as many people as I can. So I did well at that. I moved into major accounts, ended up having to move to Memphis to take over larger accounts. Okay. From there, I got a promotion to go into an overlay role, digital imaging, when they was taking everything from paper to digital. Right. I was selling customers on that. Basically, a lot of healthcare spaces that I was working with, doctors' offices, hospitals. But then I went into the IT space, man. I was like, I saw the copier industry, how it was changing.
Yep, it's starting to change.
Moving into IT, they were starting to provide IT services, professional services. And I kind of saw it happening. So I made the move early, like before a lot of other people did it.
100%. You got to see the trends when they come.
Yeah, I saw the trends. So when I saw the trend happening, man, I just
on and off the field.
Yeah, on and off the field. Right. So I moved into the IT space, and man, I've been running ever since. It's been
That's
good.
The cool part I try to tell kids about IT. Like, it's kind of like sports, and it's performance. It's almost like performance based. If you can manage yourself and stay, you know what I'm saying, competitive, like just as far as your skill set go, you'll grow quick.
You think,
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I see it like some of the same fundamentals in football, right?
Yes.
What
yes.
I do, I'm a salesman. The number one thing I have to do is understand my playbook, which is what? Our portfolio,
Yes,
right?
sir.
What do we sell? How does it benefit? Right. I have to know how to pivot when I'm having conversations with customers, right?
Mhm.
Which is an audible, right?
Yeah.
This
What defense
play,
they want to run? They want to run
right?
cover
This
2. I'm
play
gonna go
not
over the
working
top.
against
Yeah.
this conversation is not going to work with them,
Yeah.
right? So I
Exactly.
need to start based on what they've told me or showed me. I need to pivot to this conversation, right,
Yes,
in order to
sir.
win. So it's similar traits, right? You just
Yeah,
have
similar
to
trait.
the fundamentals, right? You have to
Yeah.
understand how things fit, and I
Yep.
think that's been like one of the things that separated me from a lot of guys in regards to the afterlife after
For
sports
sure.
is
Yeah, man.
understanding how things fit,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Some guys get stuck and they just say, all right, well, I wanted to be a coach. I'll be honest with you. I want to be a coach.
I think you still got
Um,
time, actually. You just probably some time. I think you
yeah,
still
I
got
mean,
time.
if the right
Yeah.
opportunity presents itself, yeah, I definitely, be interested in it and take a look at it. But for me at that moment, like I
Yeah.
did coach at Arkansas Baptist, but it was going to take too long for me to get to the level that I wanted to get to.
Right.
So I had to shift to do something that was going to pay me.
Right. Take care of
Right?
family.
And pay me at a high clip, right? I got these
Yeah.
kids, man.
Yes,
I
sir.
got to make
Yes,
sure
sir.
I take care of these kids, but it's been good for me, right? I look back on it now and I'm like, all right, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in
Yeah.
regards to my career, the upside of from a financial perspective, where
Yeah.
I could be, where I could go, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't stop at 30, right?
Right.
I'm still going,
Yeah. Still going.
so it's
Still
been
going
good for
strong.
me.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
quick question, Derek.
yeah.
You got kids and stuff. How different is this? How different is the school down there compared to how it is up here?
All right, so all right. First of all, they invest in athletics,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. They got a
They
lot more money.
truly, I don't care where you go here in
Mhm.
Texas, they invest in athletics. The
Mhm.
reason they invest in athletics is because they know from a district perspective, athletics brings you notoriety, right? Which
Yeah.
in turn is going to bring you a financial gain,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? So versus you look at Duncanville, right?
Mhm.
Duncanville is not in Frisco where I live,
Right.
right? Duncanville is like being in Southwest,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
all of they the number one team in the state,
Yeah.
Boy,
right?
it's got
Because
straight athletes. Yeah.
they invest in in athletics and
Yeah.
those athletes. And what's happened is they've took that and now they can fund everything else based on that because now every game you go to is jam packed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're running out of food at the concession stand, right? It's
Yeah.
not a ticket. I'm talking football and basketball. You can't
Yeah.
get a ticket to get in the gym, right?
Mhm.
You're able to throw these big time tournaments from a basketball perspective where teams from all over the country come and participate in these tournaments. But then also, out here where I am,
Mhm.
they invest in the education too. Like
Yeah.
they really where my son went to school, and that's why I moved out here is because I wanted him to go to one of the top
Yeah. Top
Mhm.
school.
educational
100%.
schools
Yeah.
Right.
here, right?
Yeah.
And he ended up going to Wakeland High School. Well, if you look Wakeland High School up, it's one of the top public schools in America. They're in the top
Right.
1% from an education perspective,
For sure.
grades,
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
1% in America, right?
Right.
I looked up, I looked up Central,
Mhm.
right? And they're in the top 1,000.
Mhm.
Yeah. Percentile. Yeah.
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 And the reason why I asked that because I had stayed down there in Irving for a while, and I said, man, it's totally different compared to
It
Arkansas.
is. It
Way
is.
even the
Yeah, I mean, again, you got to have the resources, right? They
You
pay
gotta
too
have the
much down
resources.
here.
100%.
They
Yeah.
they really do. I mean, you got teachers that make big time money out here.
Mhm.
But they bring in that level of education too,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
sometimes I feel what I've heard in other places, you know, kind of like back home, is that they don't have the resources in order
Yeah.
to get that type of talent.
Yeah.
Not saying that they don't have talent, because some of the teachers that taught me, that got me where I am in life,
Right.
are still there.
Mhm.
But from a district perspective, right, they don't invest enough resources into athletics,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Into getting the correct people in the right positions.
Yeah.
I look at our football programs, and I'm shocked, right?
Mhm.
I'm like, how did we allow everybody to go to Bryan and Benton or Conway,
Because everybody moving. Yeah. Yeah.
right? But it
Yeah.
used to be a thing to where I want to
Mhm.
put on this Little Rock Central
Yeah.
logo,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
right? I'm ain't no way I ain't going to Parkview to play basketball, right?
Right.
It used to be a
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
But now you see, I mean, Parkview has been good in football, which I'm happy about that, right? But what I've seen, especially at my alma mater, right?
Yeah.
And I know Ant getting things back on track, but I'm not even talking about Ant. I'm talking about everybody before Ant,
Right.
Mhm.
right? To where Central can't win a ball game. That's
Mhm.
never supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that's never ever, not the Little Rock Central.
Right.
That's not supposed to happen.
For sure.
So,
So DP, man, you got any questions for us, man? We get ready to wrap it up, man. You got any questions for us?
you know, I appreciate you guys bringing me on.
Oh man, we
You
appreciate you,
asked
bro.
questions, hearing about the story, right?
Oh yeah.
My life. I'm y'all grew up with me, right? So y'all know a
Yeah.
lot of this
Southwest.
stuff,
Yeah.
right?
For
But
sure.
just bring some light in regards to the details.
Yeah.
Awesome. Man, I'm thankful for my family, my fiance Ty,
For
my
sure.
kid. I got a kid at UAPB under Coach Hampton right now.
Oh, okay. That's what's
Right,
up.
playing ball. I got a
He playing
daughter at
football or he
Central.
playing both?
He playing football,
Football, okay.
right? Yeah. So I got a daughter at Central. She's in the 9th grade playing
Oh, okay.
varsity, right? So man, right now I'm in a good space, right? And
That's
I
great.
appreciate you guys allowing me to kind of share that, and
Yeah.
kind of going back down, memory lane a little bit. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it. What y'all got next? How big y'all gonna make this?
We just growing, man. We just gonna keep going, man. Brick by brick, you know what I'm saying? Rep by rep, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
You
it's a
know,
lot
like I
of
said, we talking about offline. Hopefully get to a place where we can be like ESPN. I could bring back on. We can talk about college football. We have our own college football game day kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? Get the
Okay,
resources
we can do
right. You
that.
know what I'm saying?
It's a
We come
lot of
on in here and
names
talk
out
about
there.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Arkansas has I won't even say Arkansas, I'll say Little Rock, right?
Yeah.
Little Rock has
Yeah.
a ton of athletes that people want to hear from. I think
Yeah.
I asked you, man, Corey Nichols. I know y'all MacTown.
Yeah.
Corey ain't hard to
I'm gonna reach
find.
out to him. We
Right?
trying to line it up with Raymond House. We trying to get him to. I know he busy too up in Rogers, man. I know they got him
Yeah,
working. Yeah.
every time I look up on LinkedIn, Big Houston got a promotion. Right? Hey, and the funny thing about that, man, hey, you know this, but where I lived off of Harrow in Southwest, Raymond
Yeah.
was right in front of me. We were neighbors,
Yeah.
right? So we both ended
Yeah.
up in Fayetteville, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
That's what's up.
small world, but nah, House been doing well, man. He's always
Yeah.
been a stand-up guy. But nah, it's all kind of guys, man. Yeah, I Bridge is around there, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
all kind of legends in Little Rock that you could talk to. Damien, people want to
Yeah.
the Blackmans, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we
Dante,
just
Dante
Ron,
Yolanda.
yeah.
Trey.
Someone may be reaching out to, but trying to get the times lined up. And
Yeah.
I know we do this one, and then we do another one called the Thinking Game, where we try to talk to the kids like this, not in athletics, about navigating life, like
Yeah.
understanding responsibility. And you want to buy a house, what does that look like? You want to
Yeah.
own a car, like being an adult, what does that look like? Things you
Yeah,
gotta
and
think.
hearing from a person like you that has been through it, they seen you
Yeah.
in high school, seen you try to navigate the pros and stuff like that, and hearing it from you, a successful man with kids, it means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate
sure.
it. No, that's what it's about, man. Like I said, the transition, your body gonna slow down on you at some point.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have to
Yes,
use this up
sir.
here at some point, right?
At
So you
some
gotta
point.
that's always gotta be in your back of your mind is all right, what am I gonna do when I transition? And you
sure.
can do anything, right? You
You
can
can.
I never would have thought I'd been in IT, right? I never
Yeah.
had anybody in my family in IT, but I'm
Same
in
here.
IT, right?
Yeah, same.
So but you can do anything, right? There's a lot of opportunities out here where you can make triple digits, or 6 digits,
Boy.
right?
Yeah.
Or better, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to break your back in order to get it done, right? You can kind of use your head to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, you live in the South. I was trying to tell kids that, man, you can make over 50,000 in Little Rock. It's just something they don't think. Because I used to think that when I was young, like, you can make over what? Yeah, but when you get there, you're like, oh, okay, I just need to, make a plan and strategy. You know what I'm saying?
I told all of my friends moving to Texas was the best decision I could make, right?
Yeah.
From a financial perspective.
Sure.
It definitely opened my eyes up because being from Southwest,
Yeah.
man, for a long time I thought it was the norm.
For real.
And then you go somewhere and my first time here, I remember the first day I went to work out here, I got to the light, I saw 2 Porsches, 3 Benzes, and a Bentley. And the next light, it was like 5 Benzes, 2 Lexuses, and a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, all right, I'm in the right spot. I can get some of this money out here.
Yeah, for
right.
sure.
But yeah, nah, man. It's a big world. That's what I will tell kids is get outside of Little Rock.
Yeah.
Right. Go somewhere and experience something and see, what you might think is normal is not the norm.
Boy, for real.
What's normal is
Yeah.
successful people, being around successful individuals that can make money and take care of their business. You ain't got to worry about what we came up hearing or doing, and for me, it was about putting my kids in a position to where they didn't even have to experience it.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
I experienced it.
Yeah, a lot of thing I got from your story is all the mentorship you face, even in the hood. You have leaders saying, "Don't do that, don't do this." A lot of positive role models picking you up when you was walking home, and each school, each step, you had somebody who had already been there, even through your big brother. Trying to keep you on the right track. That speaks volumes. Mentorship is very important.
And networks, building networks, man, connections, man. That will last longer than your talent will. Connections, they can take you far.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know everything, right? And sometimes you think you know something that you really don't have an idea about, right? But if you listen, one thing I've always done is listen, right? And you don't have to be rich or anything like that, but I know wisdom when I hear it. Right. I know something that aligns with my spirit when I feel it. And one thing I would tell children is or guys and girls coming up is you gotta listen. Because a lot of times I tell my son all the time, man, I'm your GPS. Right.
For sure.
I can tell you how to get where you want to get to. Man, if you get off course, guess what I can do? Redirect. I can't tell you to turn.
Right.
And reroute, but I can definitely provide the route for you if you need to reroute. You know what I mean? Because I got the experience to do so. And that's in anything that you do, right? Whether it's, even as a man trying to navigate relationships and how to be a father, you got to talk to somebody about it because you don't know everything.
You don't know
everything. Career-wise, same way, right? If y'all want to grow the podcast, at some point, y'all gonna have to rub elbows with somebody that has a bigger podcast so they can kind of put you on game.
For sure, 100%. Yeah.
That's in anything in life. The smartest people, one of the biggest characteristics they have is they listen.
Yep.
Right. The most successful people listen. At some point, they listen.
Right.
So I did. I'm thankful for all of the mentors that I've had. I did mention Coach Fitzpatrick at Central.
Coach Fitz.
Hey, man. Coach Fitz. They don't give him his just due, but He never gave me anything, right? When I came off that 2200, 2400, Coach Fitz made me run 22s. Right? You know what that is? That's down and back in 60 seconds. Just to get on the court.
Just to get on the court. Wow.
And I'm National Player of the Year as a sophomore. Right? And to get on his court, he made me run 22s before. And one thing he always says, Dedrick, I knew you was gonna be a ball player because you didn't even complain about it. You just did it.
And then he had the heat on too. Then he had the heat on.
He had the heat on. You know how it is. You know how it is, man. Turn that heat on. Yeah, but nah, man. I had some great mentors in life. You know, my parents, all my coaches, even the guys that I came up with. Y'all mentioned Ron Hendricks, Keith Williams. His mom was a big influence in my life. Keith is coaching at Jackson State right now. Y'all probably, I'm not sure if you knew that. But yeah, man, even Trey Givens, his dad, he always dropped seeds. Mr. Givens, he always dropped some seeds, man. But yeah.
But what's
I had a
great network, Trey, man?
The last time I talked to Trey, I bumped into Trey maybe about 4 or 5 months ago at a restaurant out here in Frisco. He's doing good. He's coaching here. He's successful.
Okay. Cool.
He's venturing off into NIL. Right. So he again, he one of the guys that used to listen all the time. Of course, his father, you gonna have to listen anyway. His parents, they raised you right out there. But sure. But man, I enjoyed it, man. I appreciate you
man.
guys.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you coming on. Anything we can do for you, man, you can come back on. If you want to talk football and sports, just let us know, man.
I tell you what, y'all tell Nick when he come on, I want to see him.
All right. We're gonna let him know.
All right.
We're gonna let him know.
Guys, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Hey guys, like, share, and subscribe. CTM Sports Live. Thank Dedrick Poole for coming on, sharing his story and insight with us. And if you listen to one thing he said, even in life, no matter where you are, listening is a top skill. So, anything y'all want to say before we sign out this thing, brother?
We good.
We good.
You good?
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
All right, guys, we signing out. Thank you.